morning students. Let's see the continuity of B block element reactions of copper and its salts. Okay. So let us take the copper. Okay. So it is treated with oxygen. Okay. It gives copper oxide. Okay. So it is in black color. Here color is important. Copper oxide. So when it is dissolved in water, that means it dissolved in water, okay, it gives copper hydroxide which is in blue color, okay. When pass the CO2 gas, okay, then it gives copper carbonate which is green color, okay, and further it is treated with carbonic acid. So H2CO3, what we call it is carbonic acid. It gives copper carbonate and calcium hydroxide. This is called basic carbonate, we call it is. The color of this one is malachite green. What we call it is malachite green. So this compound is ore of copper. That means it is the source of copper. Okay. So by using that material we can extract the copper. Okay. So what is the color of this one? This is malachite green color. Okay. These are the colors of copper related compounds. Keep it in our mind. So the next reaction is reactions of zinc and its salts. Okay. Suppose zinc interaction with oxygen, it produces zinc oxide which is in white color. Okay. White means colorless, zinc oxide. So suppose it is strongly heated, it gives zinc oxide which is in yellow color. Again this yellow color undergoes cooling, reversible cooling, it gives white. Keep it in our mind. Zinc oxide at strongly heating, it undergoes yellow zinc oxide. Again it is cooling, it gives white zinc oxide. Keep it in our mind. Okay. Let's see these type of reactions here. Zinc when interact with oxygen, it produces zinc oxide which is in white color. Okay. Further it is dissolved in water. Okay. Clear. And it gives zinc hydroxide. This is gelatinous dirty white. In color. Okay. And further it CO2 pass through this compound, it gives zinc carbonate which is white crystalline. In color. Okay. And further it is treated with carbonic acid, H2CO3. So similar reactions we have. Okay. It gives zinc carbonate and zinc hydroxide. This is called basic zinc carbonate which is in dull green color. Okay, which is in dull green color. Okay, So these are the some of the important reactions of copper and zinc. So you should keep the colors. Okay. And next one is melting point. In this only melting point. Melting point means the temperature at which solids converted to liquid, then the temperature is called melting point. Is called melting point. Okay. We have 3D transition series. Am I right? 4D transition series, 5D transition series. 6D is incomplete transition series. First transition, second, third transition series. Keep it in our mind. Okay. And this is the solid material which undergoes heating. It converted as liquid. This temperature is called as melting point. Melting point. Okay. Clear? Solid, by the heating it converted liquid at what temperature it converted as liquid is called as melting point. Okay. So factors which influence the melting point when melting point is increases. Okay. So there are some important factors here, that is symmetry of molecules, okay, is directly proportional to melting point. So melting point is high when symmetry of the molecule is high. Symmetry means here proper order. Okay. Suppose you just understand this is the ball, So if you can able to cut into two parts or not, then it is called symmetry. Okay. If the molecules are in symmetrically, they have high boiling, high melting point, and hydrogen bonds. Hydrogen bond. You know already what is hydrogen bond takes place within the molecule and in between the molecule. So hydrogen bonds also causes high melting point. The molecule in between the molecule hydrogen bond is takes place, they process high melting point. Okay, and van der Waals forces is directly proportional to melting point. These are the weak forces. We call it is London forces. Already we discussed in states of matter also. So it is also directly proportional. Directly proportional means these forces are high. Melting point is also high. Okay, and surface area of molecules is also directly proportional to melting point here, and polarity means the molecule should process positive and negatively charged in nature. If any molecule can able to makes positive negative charge, then the molecule is called as polarity. Polarity means plus or minus here, keep that in your mind. So is also directly proportional to melting point. Okay, and metallic nature is directly proportional to melting point. Metallic bond is there, the bond between metal ions here, that also give more melting point. Suppose this is the crystalline, iron crystalline. This is iron material made by iron atoms. Iron is metal or not? Metal, clearly. So here in this case iron is plus 2 by the loss of 2 electrons. How many electrons it loses? 2 electrons. Okay. So now these are all the electrons which is released by iron. Okay. Okay, clear? So electrons are available here. Electrons are available. This is simply metallic crystal. What we call it is metal. Iron is metal or not? Metallic crystal. Okay. So these positively charged iron is called as kernel. Keep it in our mind. Kernel. Okay. So these electrons are called as, these electrons are released by these iron atom. When iron loses 2 electrons, then it acquires Fe plus 2. Okay. This is called as delocalized electron. Delocalized electrons means these electrons are available, freely available in the crystal. Those are called as delocalized electrons. Okay, keep it in our mind. So in this particular case, there is strong forces are exist. Okay, strong attraction forces are possible. Strong attraction forces in metallic crystals. Okay, so if you want to break these bonds, we offer more energy. That means these crystal having more melting point. More melting point means a solid material which converted to liquid. Am I right? For that it need more heat energy. So when it need more energy, so if the bond is metallic bond, if you want to break that bond, we offer more heat energy. So it consumes more heat energy, so it has more melting point. Keep it in our mind. In the metallic bonds, the bonds are very strong here. So these factors increase the melting point. Okay. Now write important question regarding this concept. So this bit is given in a previous medical exam also. Right. Which group element has maximum melting point? In periodic table, okay, which group elements has maximum melting points? That is the question. Just a minute. So write the question. Which group elements has maximum or highest melting point? Highest melting point. Okay, so that is sixth group. Sixth group, that is chromium we have. Okay, chromium and molybdenum and tungsten. Okay, these three metals which are belongs to sixth group of transition metal series. Okay, high melting points. In that, especially tungsten has highest melting point. Keep it in our mind. Okay, highest melting point. These are belongs to sixth group. Okay, so therefore tungsten used in electrical bulbs as filament due to its highest melting point. Highest melting point. Okay. Melting point is directly proportional to number of unpaired electron. That means single electron. Single electrons. Okay. So this is the answer. Sixth group transition metals has highest melting point. Why? Because they process maximum number of unpaired electrons. Okay. So in the tungsten has highest melting point. So it is used as filament in electrical bulb. Chromium, manganese and zinc has low boiling points. Low boiling points. What is the reason? Why? Chromium, manganese and zinc has stable electronic configuration. Am I right? These are stable electronic configuration. So those which are stable, they won't release electrons. Am I right? So these are won't release electrons easily. They did not release electrons easily. Okay? Clear? So these are have low boiling point. That means if they can easily release the electrons, they have high boiling point, but they won't release electrons easily. Why? Because they are stable already. Let us see the example why these are stable. You know zinc very well. Atomic number of zinc is 30. What about electronic configuration? Argon 4s2 3d10. So fulfilled d orbital is there, and s also completely fulfilled electrons in s. So it is stable. You know very well. So in the stable condition, they won't release electrons easily. Okay. So in that particular condition, they have high boiling, low boiling points. Okay. If they release electrons easily, they have high boiling point. But here they have low boiling point. Keep it in our mind. Okay. Metallic character depends on number of unpaired electrons and charge on kernels. What is meant by kernels? Positive charge species in metallic crystal. In metallic so I am already explained here, that is, suppose iron crystal, metallic crystal, when iron becomes +2, when it releases 2 electrons, then these are becomes Fe+2. This is metallic crystal. Metallic crystal. These positive charged species is called as kernels. Okay, these are electrons. What we call it is delocalized electrons. Okay, due to this positive charge and these electrons, there is strong force of attractions. Okay, strong force of attraction. If attraction is strong, then it has good metallic character. Good metallic character, and they act as good conductors. Okay, why? Because availability of electron is there. So where freely moving electrons are available, they process good electrical and heat conductors. Okay, keep it in our mind. So this is about melting point, and so melting point order in chromium, molybdenum and tungsten is chromium is less than, molybdenum is less than tungsten. This is 3D less than, 4D less than, 5D. 3D transition, 4D, 5D. This belongs to 3D. This is 5D. Okay. So increasing order, highest. Okay. So here tungsten has highest melting point. Okay. And what about chromium? And comparing with this one, it has least. Okay. Keep it up. This is the order. Now let us come to heat of atomization or enthalpy of atomization. Delta H. Simply enthalpy means change in heat energies during the reaction or during the system. It is nothing but of heat energy, enthalpy also. Okay, keep it in our mind. Or heat of atomization. So what is the meaning of heat of atomization or enthalpy of atomization here? For a very easily understanding, let's see that the definition first of all. Enthalpy change when a compound bonds broken and components of compounds reduced to individual atoms. Okay, then the enthalpy is called as, heat of atomization. Okay, so what is the meaning of this definition? So let's see. A metallic crystal okay, this is the metallic crystal. So these iron lose electrons. Am I right? There is strong force of attraction between due to electron cloud. This is called electron cloud. More electrons are available here. Strong attraction forces are there. This is a metallic crystal. Okay, metallic crystal. This is the nothing but of compound. What we call it is compound. Why? Because it is consists number of metallic crystal just considered as compound. So there is strong force of attraction between these atoms. Okay, these atoms. Okay. So now, so if you want to break this bond, we offer some heat energy here. If the bond is strong, if you want to break that bond, we offer more energy. Then heat of atomization is very high. Am I right? If the bond is very strong, that means attraction is very strong. If you want to break that bond, now what is the component here in this compound? So compound here, this is the compound. So what is the components here? Iron atoms are the components here. Clear? Now if you want to break the bond between these iron atoms, we want to offer some heat energy. If the bond is strong, we offer more heat energy to break the atoms. Clear? So after bond breaking, these iron, here it is iron ion, it becomes iron atom, individual atom. Okay. So that energy is called as heat of atomization. For easily understanding, let us take AB. It is a compound. Okay. So this is the bond in between A and B. Here we offer some heat energy to break this bond. Okay. Then it becomes atom A and atom B. These are the atom. Okay. Individual atoms, separate atoms. Individual atom A and atom B. Here we break the bond, am I right? Okay. So now what are the components of AB compound? Components means what is present in the compound. Components. Here components are mixed, am I right? By using some energy we break the components into individual atoms. Okay. So these are the components A and component B. So by supply heat energy we break the components into individual atoms. So now this energy is called as heat of atomization. When the bond is strong, it has more heat of atomization. Okay, clear? So note the point. Heat of atomization similar to melting point. Okay. Now write the question. Highest heat of atomization element in 3D transition series. Okay. So 3D transition series means it starts from scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper. Am I right? This is the 3D transition series. Among the 3D transition elements, which one has highest heat of atomization? That is the given question. Previously medical question it is. So, what is the electronic configuration of scandium here? Right? Argon 4s2 3d1. Okay? And titanium argon 4s2 3d2. And 21, 22, 23, 24, these are the atomic numbers. And zinc it is 30. Okay. And argon 4s2 3d3. Okay. Here argon 4s1 3d5. And here it is argon 4s2 3d5. And here iron argon 4s2 3d6. Here cobalt argon 4s2 3d7. Here argon 4s2 3d8. Here argon 4s1 3d10. What about here? Argon 4s2 3d10. Now calculate number of unpaired electron in each atom. Number of unpaired electrons. So how many unpaired electrons here? That means single electrons in D. 1 here and here 2, here 3 unpaired electrons, here 5 plus 1, 6 in S1, in D 5, 6. So here maximum number of unpaired electrons in chromium here it is completely fulfilled. How many unpaired electrons in D? 5 for manganese, and iron it is 4, and here it is 3. Okay, and here it is 2, and here it is 1, only 1, here it is 0 almost. Okay, so heat of atomization that is delta H atom we represents is directly proportional to number of unpaired electrons. So in which case in this series has maximum number of unpaired electrons? Clearly in chromium, here it is 1, in D5, 6 electrons. Okay, so now what is the answer? Chromium has highest heat of atomization due to maximum number of electrons, maximum number of unpaired electrons. You have to mention that maximum number of unpaired electrons. When we compare the 3D transition series and 4D transition series, 5D transition series, okay, so delta H atom means atomization order is 3D transition series greater than 4D transition series 5D. Okay, so heat of atomization is maximum for 3D transition elements than 4D. Okay, keep that in our mind. So why chromium has highest heat of atomization here? Maximum number of unpaired electrons are available in chromium. So what happens when maximum number of unpaired electrons are possible in a particular atom? So when single electrons or unpaired electrons is available in that atom or ion, then it can able to make maximum number of bonds. Am I right? With other atoms are similar. Let's see that. Suppose chromium has 6 unpaired electrons, what we see already. Okay, 6 unpaired electrons, single electrons. Okay, so that means it can able to form how many bonds? 6 bonds. Am I right? Chromium can able to form 6 bonds due to the presence of 6 unpaired electrons. Now how many bonds are possible here? 6 bonds are possible. If you want to break these bonds, we offer more energy, am I right? More energy to break this bond as individual atoms, that is again A and chromium, 6 A atoms and 1 chromium. Okay, clear? More heat energy is offered to break the bonds between chromium and A here. Okay, so more energy means high heat of atomization need, okay, to break these bonds. Clear? Why? Because these bonds are strong bonds here. Okay, to break the strong bonds we offer more energy. So more number of electrons are available, then that atom can able to form more number of bonds. So we offer to more energy to break the bond. So heat of atomization is high. Okay, so that is the reason why chromium has maximum heat of atomization among 3D transition elements. So you know clearly. Is there any doubt, ask me through my WhatsApp group. Okay students, have a nice day. Thank you very much. So we'll again meet on tomorrow.